La, 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 la. Boom.
My audio is muted there too. So, we should just about be live now. It says we're live. Okay,
Sweet.
Hi everyone and welcome.
Hey.
This is Awesome Hardware. It's a live show. We talk about technology, computers and that kind of thing. We also have a good time. We drink a few beers, so quick warning to those of you guys who are just joining us. Might use some foul language on the show from time to time. Usually nothing too terrible. It's usually warranted. In fact, most people would be mad if we didn't occasionally use bad words, but just wanted to point that out.
This is true.
But this show is split into two halves, and this is the first half of episode number 139. It is February 13th, and we're streaming this half to my channel, Paul's Hardware. In about an hour or so, we will finish my half, and then we'll switch over and stream the second half to Kyle's channel, which is called Bitwit, and the link to that is in the video description. Excuse me, along with links to all the stories we're going to talk about today. So thanks to all you guys for being here. Whether you're watching on twitch.tv/awesomehardware or whether you're watching on YouTube, we definitely appreciate you guys being here.
Word up.
How's everything going?
Hey,
What?
it's really choppy.
It's choppy.
Really
choppy.
choppy.
Okay.
Chop chop.
Well, we
Someone's
gotta fix-
saying this is stutter.
All right, hold on. We got
some stutter.
We gotta deal with a quick.
Lots of dropped frames. It says dropped. It says 0 dropped frames on our end.
Yeah, it says 0 drop frames. So you guys
Zero.
are all liars.
0 dropped frames. We are using a wired Ethernet connection.
Bitrate's decent.
Maybe turn the bitrate down a little.
No, we would want the bitrate to be up. I'm turning the bitrate up because we're at 60 frames per second.
I guess.
I don't. Oh, I know. I bet I know what it is. I didn't check 60 frames per second down here.
Oh.
Or do you have to do that anymore? You don't have to do that anymore. Yeah.
On YouTube now?
No, they updated it. That's an option's not even there. So.
It's got to be something with the 60 FPS because we never really stutter, and the only difference is that we're using the Ripsaw now at 60.
Yeah.
We usually stream at 30 here when we're at my place, and we've never had any stuttering issues.
It says, and it also says Twitch is fine, but YouTube is laggy.
Well, that sounds like a YouTube thing.
It's very strange.
Twitch is good. YouTube's dropping.
Well,
shit.
all right. Let's try this. Oh, you can't do any other encoding settings. All right. Let's. We'll be right back, YouTube.
Yep.
It's not even using the backup server. I don't know what to do with this. Okay. Alright, we should now be live to both. Once again, sorry for that.
YouTube.
Sorry for that delay, guys. We have switched back to 30 frames per second. That's YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's perfect. Everything's perfect.
It's good from our end.
Everything's fine, and everything has been fine, and nothing has gone wrong at all. So, thank you guys for being here. Knock on wood for sure. We are now coming to you live at 1080, 30 frames per second.
It doesn't matter anymore. Ow.
We're going to talk about, should we talk first about why Kyle is in pain?
Okay.
I guess we can address that briefly.
Sure. I posted something on Twitter on Sunday after my snowboarding accident where I basically caught an edge and sort of face planted, or I guess kind of chest planted, because I landed on my rib cage, but I sort of my rib cage landed on my left arm.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense.
You were cushioning the blow to your rib cage with your arm.
I wouldn't say cushioning, because they both got sort of messed up. When I sat back up, it looked like my bone was kind of just sticking an inch out of my elbow, but it didn't pierce the skin. It was just like, boom, like it was protruding, like almost like a pinky had was trying to burst out of my skin about an inch. Even like the guy, like the medic guy who was like standing, or the staffer who was right there, who like saw it happen, he's like, take your jacket off, let me see it. And he's like, oh, okay, everything's fine. Like you could tell he was like, I was almost like,
it's not the response, the reaction.
Yeah, he was, yeah, exactly. He was just like, wow, he's totally out of his league right now. So I was like, well, that doesn't look good. And then my ribs started feeling really bad. And I got an X-ray done, and the X-ray didn't pick up any sort of fractures or breaks in my rib cage, but you can still have like a hairline fracture that an X-ray wouldn't pick up necessarily until you went unless you go to a specialist. So that may be what happened. At any rate, it hurts to breathe, to inhale deeply. Moving any sudden movements or even like small movements, like getting up out of my chair is kind of tough right now. Walking, I have to walk really slow. So if I say "ow" just randomly throughout the stream, now you guys know what's going on.
Now we have an explanation.
I'm not I don't have Tourette's. I didn't develop Tourette's over the weekend or something.
So with the bone, it just popped
the
it back
bone
in?
Somehow it just slowly went back into place. It was this really obvious deformity that kind of just corrected itself in a few hours. And by the time they took me on a toboggan down the mountain, which was not humiliating at all. And then once I was in the patrol room, like a couple hours later, I took my jacket off again, and it had gone down like halfway. And the guy was like, "Whoa, like that's weird, but that's good." And then eventually it just kind of went back into place. There's still a massive bruise, and it's really painful to touch. But
so I'm imagining,
all things considered, I'm fine.
Like Wolverine when he heals himself, but not quite as fast. Like
yeah,
that's
right.
basically what you can do.
Yeah, I'm like Wolverine's, reject brother who didn't get into the academy.
That's awesome.
Charles Xavier Academy for gifted youngsters. Ow, see that
cool.
hurt? Just
so
everything's good.
Everyone, be careful if
Yep.
you participate in the winter sports.
Yeah,
winter.
I saw Chloe Kim do it on TV. I was like,
oh yeah, she's
easy peasy.
She's 17.
Here's my back-to-back 1080s on the way.
She's from Torrance.
Is she?
Yeah, it's like right here, near here.
Our home.
Speaking of
area.
making you do movements that might be uncomfortable.
Oh, beer.
Could you grab a couple more beers?
I
perhaps?
could.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to quickly plug our stores. Help support Kyle and his pain and deformation right now by buying stuff at our stores. My store is paulshardware.net, and I have shirts, mugs, pint glasses, bottle openers, keycaps. It's all real nice stuff. So check it out and buy things. If you buy stuff during the show, we will shout out your name at the end of the show, along with the word Johnson. It's glorious. Kyle's store is bitwit.tech/store. He's got new CPU cooler dark gray heather t-shirts. Oh, that's right here.
Yep.
Look at that.
Those are really nice.
Classic CPU
Finally.
cooler.
I've owned one of those for so long, and I've been wearing it in videos and stuff. People are like, "Why can't I find the gray one on your store?" I'm like, "It's not in stock. We don't sell it until now." So it's finally there.
Gotta let the people have
Go wild.
what they want.
Yeah. And these ones are coming soon. This is actually a sample sent to me by our t-shirt guy John, who's an awesome dude. And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this, because it's I don't know if you can tell, but it's the logo,
it's sparkly.
obviously.
It's kind of sparkly printing.
It's a sort of a metallic print.
It's got a sheen to it, a shimmer,
Up close,
if you will.
it looks, a little shimmery up close, but from afar it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too glitzy.
Call it the Bitwit Glitter Bit shirt.
Glitter bit.
Glitter Bit. Glitter Bit.
I think you said glitter bitch. Ow. No, it's not funny.
I wouldn't say. But I don't even know what that means.
the Bitwit Glitter Bit shirt. I'm gonna tell John to put that as the product name.
I have one with my logo. Oh, thank you. I have one with my logo in that same finish. So definitely interested in your feedback, guys.
Do it.
In the meantime, let's go into our first segment, which is. I don't have any of these. None of this works.
Text porn.
None of this is updated. This is.
Oh no.
This is all broken. Hold on.
Our first segment though.
It's gonna be news.
It's news.
Which it's not set up, so we'll just say good news.
Okay, sure.
All right. Thank you, Kyle.
Burps.
The show
Slightly painful.
starting out just so smoothly. Oh, hardware is where our first article comes from, and this is a bit of leaked info. It's actually derived from the SciSoft Sandra benchmarking suite on the Intel Core i7 Coffee Lake H CPU benchmarks. So Coffee Lake, you guys are probably familiar with. These are going to be new CPUs that are based on the Coffee Lake architecture, 14 nanometer plus plus, or so the nomenclature goes. They're going to have a this specific CPU is called the i7-8850H, and it's going to have a base clock of 2.6 gigahertz. Boost clock is not known yet, but there's speculation on that later on. 9 megabyte L3 cache, according to the actual information, well, the actual screenshots that they have here from SciSoft Sandra. 4 results here that came in for a couple of their different tests. So the arithmetic benchmark test On the 6-core 12. Oh, that's the big thing about this 8858. It's a 6-core 12 thread, so it's similar to your 8700K.
Yep.
But
Nice.
it scored 159.21. Compare it to the 4-core 8-thread previous generation mobile part 7820HQ, which is a Kaby Lake. That scored 117. So 117 up to 159.
Pretty
Here
good
we're
gains.
looking at kind of a similar thing when you looked at like a 7700K to an 8700K, in that a lot of the gains come from the fact that you got 2 more cores and 4 more threads to work with. But there's also a slight improvement when it comes to actual per thread performance with Coffee Lake, so that's good to have. And this chip's only gonna have a 45 watt TDP, so that's cool. So probably gonna see it integrated into notebooks, laptops, perhaps also like all-in-one monitors, or like the all-in-one units that uses like a slim monitor frame, but also puts the PC in it and that kind of thing.
Like an iMac, like a PC iMac.
Yeah,
One of those. Because
yeah,
apparently people like those.
I mean, there've been some cool ones.
It makes sense.
Like the 3440 by 1440, you know, widescreen, 34-inch widescreen. They take one of those and then like put a computer into the.
I like the
into back of
upgradable
it.
ones.
Yeah,
where
so
you can
that's
sort of
fine.
access the parts and stuff.
And you could potentially see something like this being integrated onto a custom motherboard that still has an upgradable graphics card, for example. This is a mobile part, so it's probably going to be BGA.
Yeah.
I don't see. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be BGA. The other benchmark is the processor multimedia benchmark, and the 8850H scored 373 on that, compared to the 7820HQ, which scored 347. 347, 373. It's also rumored that the 8850H is going to have an integrated UHD graphics 630, which is an upgrade from the last generation, but still you're not going to expect a huge amount of performance out of that. It's Intel integrated graphics, but potentially could have turbo up to 4 gigahertz on all 6 cores, as well as a 4.3 gigahertz single core turbo. So
That's pretty nice.
yeah, I mean, really impressive specs, especially considering it's a 45 watt TDP mobile chip, and for higher end laptops, especially if you need to do video editing on the go or something like that, probably be some pretty cool computers.
Pair
based on
pretty
that.
nicely with the discrete GPU in there.
Yeah, and Intel, if they're being more competitive when it comes to the mobile space, it probably has a little bit to do with the fact that AMD is actually starting to be more competitive there too, because they're starting to integrate Ryzen CPUs and Vega GPUs onto various chips in various configurations, including the Intel chip with the Vega graphics on it. All right, moving on. Huawei. Always a fun. It's always one of those cell phone brands that I'm never quite positive how to pronounce. Huawei, though, did a little promotional thing to try to get some feedback on their pre-sale for their upcoming flagship phone, the Mate 10 Pro. It is currently available for pre-order in the United States. This article is from The Verge, but the original report came from 9to5 Google, and they spotted fake reviews for the Mate 10 Pro on Best Buy's website.
These fake reviews from Huawei themselves?
No,
Or
no.
from Best Buy?
They're actually from people.
Okay.
It's pretty much for sure because of this promotion that they ran on their Facebook page. January 31st, they did a Facebook contest asking people to leave comments on the Best Buy pre-sale page, the pre-sale page for the Mate 10 Pro. And in exchange, they got a chance to beta test one of them. But people went a little bit overboard, and there's some actual screenshots in the 9to5 Google article on this, and started posting actual, some of them were honest. Some of them were like, hey, I don't actually have this, but 5 stars,
Right.
Based on Huawei's reputation, or
Sure.
I had an Honor 8 phone and it was cool, so looking forward to this one. Or some people were just like, hey, I'm posting this because I want to get, part of the beta test program or
Right,
whatever.
right.
This guy says he's had one, but he got it for free for a photography review.
So Huawei wasn't even telling them to write reviews. They were
They
telling
weren't
them
telling
to
them specifically to
go to
write
this landing
reviews.
page
Yes.
and comment in this other unrelated field.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't.
people just took it upon themselves, like, maybe some people think, well, if I give them a 5-star review, maybe it'll increase my odds of getting selected or something like that.
There's definitely been plenty of accusations, and a lot of it accurate and warranted against like fake reviews and stuff. This doesn't seem to be necessarily, there's not ill intent here.
Right.
I don't think. Because they were just asking for comments on the pre-sale page, which is a good way of getting like buzz and whatever. You might, maybe get better indexed by Google or something if people are traveling there a lot. But point being, people went and posted the reviews on the actual phone, and now you have a phone that's not available for sale and it has really good reviews, and so that's a little sketchy.
Do we know if Best Buy tried to like take those down?
They have been removed, so the reviews have been removed by Best Buy. The Facebook group that they posted that little thing to had 60,000 members, so some of them were overzealous, and when posted reviews. Yeah. All right.
By the way, Windows keeps bugging me, so you guys get to watch Windows Update in the background
while
we continue. Ow!
That's exciting.
The show.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
That's okay. All right. Let's preface this next article. Very interesting things to talk about, what we are about to talk about, but very much in the category of rumor. Rumor, speculation, probably not true. Could be true, but we have no real reason to believe it's true.
Grain of salt.
It's on WCCF Tech, and whenever we talk about a WCCF Tech article, we always say grain of salt and everything like that. But I want to give credit where credit is due. They're very upfront about that too. He says very clearly, let me begin, this is nothing but a rumor at this point. It's not even a leak. It's not coming from one of their trusted sources or anything like that. This is from a website called 3D Center, and it's a post on the 3D Center forums. And 3D Center is a German website where they talk about technology and that kind of thing. So yeah, 3dcenter.org, I should say. Basically, the rumor states that the next-gen NVIDIA GPU lineup will not be based on Volta, as has been expected for some time. If you look at any of the NVIDIA roadmaps and everything, there's Pascal and then there's Volta up above it. They will instead be based on a new name that they've inserted, Ampere. So the Ampere architecture. Also, again, if the rumor is to be believed, the GP102, which is the code name for the GPU that the 1080 Ti and the Titan X and the Titan XP is based on, the big Pascal basically, has already been transitioned to end of life and will soon be replaced with the GA series. So GP, GeForce Pascal series, 102 is the biggest one, and then they have 104, which is like what the 1080 is based on, and then they have a 106 and a 107. And anyway. So GA would be GeForce Ampere. When they come out with Volta stuff, the code it will be GV, and there's already some GV-based stuff in the enterprise space. Anyway, supposedly a GA104 based GPU will launch April 12th. Possibly the GTX 2080 or GTX 2070. You would expect the next version of the 104. So right now, like we said, GP104 is what the 1080 is based on. So if they make a GA104, it would probably be what they would use for the 1080 equivalents. Mm-hmm. And we could assume that they would make a 1070 equivalent as well. We have no idea if they're going to continue this naming scheme that they've been using. So 2080, 2070. I felt like when they did 1080, everyone was like, "Oh, are they really going to do a 1080 because it sounds like 1920 by 1080
right.
and it's really for 4K and stuff." This is more like 2080, 2070. Like this just difficult to say.
Yeah,
it's challenging that way.
Too many syllables in your mouth.
Yeah. But anyway, they would be unveiling it in March and launching it in April, on April 12th. Now what's kind of confusing here is they're talking about end of life of the GP102, which is what the 1080 Ti is based on, and it seems a little weird that they would end of life that while at the same time potentially bringing out products that are a step below, but we could maybe assume that means that whatever the GTX 2080 might be on the equivalent performance level as a 1080 Ti.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. Wonder how pricing will be.
Yeah, of course, pricing is a huge question, and pricing as in what they tell us the MSRP is versus what they actually sell for. I mean, there was plenty of that even when the 1080 first launched and the 1070 and what I mean, the 1070 MSRP was originally supposed to be 370 or 3, yeah, and they were never really available for that. I mean, they were kind of, but anyway.
The blower style, you know, add and board partner versions.
So if this does happen, rumor, maybe whatever, it would be a second quarter 2018 launch. So that would be exactly 2 years since they launched GP104 based 1080 and 1070 2 years ago in 2016. 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Insane.
Also adding to the potential viability of this rumor is the fact that GDC and GTC are both held in March. So that's the Game Developers Conference as well as the GeForce Technology Conference. Game Developers Conference is more of an industry-wide thing. GeForce Technology Conference is more of a NVIDIA-based thing, but both potentially venues where they might.
What are you doing?
We're getting distracted by that.
That was the point.
So that's the whole idea.
Now they can't watch it. All right.
Yeah, so potential venues for an announcement for something like this. And that's pretty much all there is to it. The article, if you guys do want to read it, has a little bit more. If you guys want some of the other details and speculation and everything. But again, rumor and speculation and all that good stuff. It would appear, if this is true, that Ampere, if it is actually a thing, is like another 16 nanometer refinement. So like Pascal refined, Pascal architecture refined. I doubt this is something that's actually 10 nanometer, which is what Volta is supposed to be based on. And also not sure what this means for Volta in the mainstream consumer space and how that might affect that. But all things said, you know, companies like NVIDIA need to continue releasing products. We didn't see much in 2017 because there wasn't much to compete with. That they needed to launch to compete with. We saw like the 1070 Ti towards the end of the year, which was really kind of a really weird product for them to come out with.
Yeah.
But they can't do that forever. They can't just keep being like, well, we're still not seeing a lot of competition, so we'll just still stick with 1080 Ti and everything. They need to do something. So this is a possible way they could go. Hopefully that would mean yields would be really good since they'd still be using the same manufacturing process and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if there is any actual viability or truth to this, hopefully we can bring you more on it soon or at some point in the future.
Hopefully we get some juicy details or rumors even on AMD cards in the near future too.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. All right, let's talk about Equifax. We've talked about it several times here on the show because it's a hack that happened last year. Equifax lost the personal information of about 145.5 million Americans, as well as other people around the world.
That's all.
But if you participated in the American credit system, then chances are your data was stolen. And we bring it back up because we talked about it last week because they decided that they're not going to pursue investigation of this. At least the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau isn't going to do that. And we just brought that up because it was kind of crappy. I don't know why this video isn't playing, but whatever. This article is over on Tech Republic if you guys want to check it out. More to the point, though, it's now been revealed that it's worse than originally thought. Yes, that is true.
Oh, joy.
Equifax, for their part, as this new information is coming to light, said, hey, when we told you, hey, we lost all this data and everything, we never said, by the way, that's everything. We never clarified, and this is the beginning and end of it. So we were under no obligation to tell you about all this extra stuff that happened too. They've known about this.
Not telling us the full truth is the same as lying.
This is not
Equifax.
This is not stuff that was like we only just discovered it. They knew it was missing. They knew the data was stolen. They just didn't tell everyone all those details about it. So that's super sweet of them. Now it has been revealed that tax identification numbers, email addresses, and driver's license information has also been stolen, making it yet that much more simple for someone to impersonate you and, you know, buy stuff with your credit or that kind of thing. This is on top of all the original stuff that was stolen in the hack: names, social security numbers, dates of birth, current and former addresses. The new information seems to have been revealed just after that Consumer Financial Protection Bureau stuff was just announced, which was like a week and a half ago. But I do want to point out there's a follow-up article here that I found on Wall Street Journal, which is to say that the chief of the CFPB, who is Mick Mulvaney, says that it's not actually true. He says there has been no change in the position from the previous leadership of the CFPB regarding Equifax. So according to him, and this article is from today, they are still looking into it. Who knows? But I do want to point out that the FTC has had and continues to have an ongoing independent investigation of the breach. So I'm sure they will be brought to justice, and the people responsible will be forced to apologize to each and every one of us.
That always happens.
Yeah. Anyway, it's crappy, but everyone keep an eye on your credits. And if you're able to, then freeze your credit. That's the best way to keep. Because in my opinion, like at this point, like the credit system in the U.S., it's like it's really a failing on their part. And I'm like, why do I even want to participate in this anymore? Can I just opt out of the system? You can't.
Yeah.
Because
they've already got you.
I don't remember opting in, for
Right.
that matter.
That's true.
They just kind of start collecting your information and creating a profile on you and that kind of thing, which is.
You don't really need to opt in for anything these days to actually be in it.
Yeah. So
They kind of just do whatever they want with your information. It's the world we live in.
it's frustrating, but
Information age has turned against us.
it's the type of thing I feel like we shouldn't stop talking about. So I'll keep
Oh, yeah.
bringing it up from time to time, hopefully as
Definitely.
relevant
I concur.
stories are published on it. All right. Twitch is going to ban users for hate, but not just on Twitch. That's right. If you're a Twitch streamer and you're like, you know what, on Twitch I'm really nice to people, and you know that's really cool, and Twitch is like my home base and everything. But then on other platforms like on Twitter or on YouTube or other social media platforms, you're like a dick and you like cuss people out and you're racist and tell women that they're inferior and stuff like that, then you could still be banned from Twitch.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
They're expanding their policy basically to include other venues other than Twitch. So abuse taking place on other platforms can contribute to a suspension. This includes hate or harassment. Conduct that Twitch deems hateful on any platform will result in an immediate, indefinite suspension. Sexual conduct rules have also been changed to consider the context of a stream, and this is because there's sort of a really fine line that Twitch has to ride between the popularity of some streamers due to their, let's say, looks, versus people who are exploiting viewership with their looks, because obviously Twitch doesn't want to be a platform where, you know, people are
You have a bunch of
doing
cam girls or
stripteases.
cam dudes.
The booby streamer category, obviously.
Booby streamer.
That's a thing. That's a term. It's referenced in the story and everything.
Really?
Yes, because there's
Booby streamer category? Like,
yes,
that's the
because
best
there's
term. I gotta come up with a better phrase than booby
and look,
streamer.
I don't know if there's a male version of the booby streamer as well.
Why not?
Or something like that.
I have boobs.
That's the
I could be a booby
accusation, is that
streamer.
they're there and they wear, low cut tops with lots of cleavage and everything.
Yeah, I've done it.
And their image is really big on the screen versus whatever game they're playing. And now that there's the IRL category as well, there's
It's like reversed.
There's
It's like their boobs are full screen, and then they're
and then the game's the little thing in the corner.
the bottom right.
So-
lower.
So Twitch has to say, all right, on the one hand, views are views, and the more people viewing our content, the better, because that's how they grow their platform and everything like that. On the other hand, they have advertising partnerships that they set up, and advertisers want to make sure, and this is of course been something we've talked about with YouTube as well. Advertisers want to make sure that if they're putting their ad in front of something, that thing that ad's going in front of is wholesome, or at least enough that people aren't going to get offended and be like, why are you supporting this
Right.
with your ad monies or whatever. So Twitch was careful here to indicate that, one, the sexual conduct rules have been changed to consider the context, which provides them a bit of leeway in how they assess streams. So some
Right.
streams might be more okay than others. So it's
Sure.
not just going to be like, oh, that girl's like, some girls are just really attractive,
Right.
And if you're just a really
You're still
attractive
playing
female and you
games.
get lots of viewers, I mean,
You're not doing anything wrong.
welcome to advertising or whatever in the world. That's a, but
Sex
you're
sells.
not necessarily exploiting it or whatever. You just happen
Right.
to be attractive and have lots of views, or there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Someone who's actively trying to push the limit of sexuality and going towards erotic or something like that is something that they want to be able to cut down on. At the same time, they're watching for abuse of this rule. They say we will not tolerate using this policy as a basis to harass streamers on or off Twitch. So they're saying you can't go and report someone for this if they are not actually abusing the rule.
Right.
So,
But
it's
it's sort of a gray area too, because it's sort of subjective.
It is. Well,
whether or
yeah,
not
and that's
someone's
why they
exploiting,
that's why they say
appearance.
considering context.
Exactly. Yeah.
If
that's the tricky part.
If someone
right
is
there.
in IRL or something like that, and you're doing work, what if people they stream workouts or whatever?
Right. Yeah. From very
And-
suspicious angles, or like
Or maybe it's just a workout and people work out in spandex. It's very common.
yeah. Or maybe it's a
Context.
girl streaming at home and she's just wearing yoga pants, but she somehow, for some reason, needs to get up every 3 minutes to turn her back to the camera and
Yes.
get
So
another
that's-
glass of water for the 8th time.
And that is
she
where
exploiting
that
or
is
not?
where that word context becomes so important.
Of course.
Because and that's where you need an actual person to go and watch that and see what's being streamed and seeing if it's over the line or if it's just somebody who's doing their thing and they happen to have a nice butt. Or
There's
whatever,
probably just a new
like-
new board of members at Twitch called the butt police, or
I mean, if
ass-
they're
ass
hiring,
patrol.
if they're hiring, I would.
not a bad deal.
Then again,
I'd take a pay cut.
you'd have to deal with all variety of potential.
Ow.
Anyway, more on that
More
in
on
just a
that.
minute.
Yep. Hey, Windows finally updated.
Excellent.
I'm gonna go back to the desktop
I'm
so that
so
they don't have to look at this.
so
stupid
happy about
scenery.
that.
Instead, they can look at some fat guy.
All right.
That looks like Gavin. The old G.
These guidelines will come into effect February 19th.
All right.
In case you're wondering, so that's
Sexy.
a week from yesterday. All right, let's move on to the next segment, which is sword fight. So everything's broken, and I can fix this at least for when we get to your half.
Hey.
Next segment is sword fight, and I don't have that set up, so I put my PC there, whatever. It's resetting
Which we'll be
again?
doing later.
No, it's
Oh
doing
wow.
that.
Okay.
I needed you to log in.
Typical Windows. Here we go again.
Thought you were ready to go.
Nope.
All right, so we both did videos on the launch that just happened of the new AMD APUs, the 2200G, 2400G. Nice little products.
Yeah.
I like them.
I dig them. I like them a lot.
I think they're very well positioned right now because graphics cards are so expensive, and
We need them badly.
But even that's the thing that sucks. Like even with not needing to buy a graphics card because memory is so expensive, you part out something with one of these APUs, it's still like a $600 system.
Yeah.
I need to look back at it again. It depends on what memory you're going with, but you want to get some decently fast memory. So
Right. And capacity matters too.
yeah.
So.
And since you're using some of the system memory as part of as the GPU memory, because the APU's got the built-in graphics, built-in Vega GPU, but that doesn't have memory on it, so it uses your system memory for the graphics memory, and that cuts into your available overall system memory. So whereas before, a budget system with an 8 gigs of memory would probably get you by just fine, with as long if you had a discrete graphics card. Now you're looking at, all right, 8 gigs minus one gig for the GPU, plus if you want to increase the available amount for the GPU, you can do that as well. So yeah, there's still some dilemmas to get past, but good products. But anyway,
Yeah.
did you look at all over the weekend and see any of the stuff that Son of a Tech posted?
No.
Okay, so Son of a Tech is a tech channel.
Okay.
He has 26,000 subscribers,
Okay.
and I can't figure out his name because he says his name really fast at the beginning of the videos. But anyway, his channel is called Son of a Tech. This video is linked down in the description. He basically went and ordered from Amazon one of the 2400Gs on Friday,
Okay.
and they shipped it to him. And it arrived Saturday morning. So he spent all day Saturday did a 10-hour live stream of just testing the 2400G, playing games, and doing some overclocking and stuff like that.
Okay.
I kind of caught a little bit about it because I saw a couple people tweeting about it here and there. And then on Sunday, he actually posted his review, which he called the world's first Ryzen 4 2400G Raven Ridge review. Now, since it's a sword fight, and in sword fight we have to argue about something,
Okay.
I'll bring up the argument point here.
Okay.
I caught a little bit of back and forth between him and Joker. We know Joker from Joker Reviews.
Yep.
And Joker was a little bit. He wasn't happy with Son of a Tech because Joker, like us, working directly with AMD, received samples of these two CPUs from AMD.
Right.
And when you do that, you have to agree to a review embargo.
Right.
Which means you say, until this specific date and time, I will not post any content about this.
Sure.
Any reviews or anything like that. And he was basically saying that Son of a Tech should not have done this. That it was underhanded and sneaky, and that he should have abided by the review embargo.
Right.
So that's what we're going to argue here. And you guys, please go ahead and let us know by voting on this straw poll what you think. Was it okay for Son of a Tech to post this pre-embargo content about the Ryzen 5 2400G? Now, I can't speak for certain as to how familiar he is with, like, I mean, I'm sure he knew there was an embargo. He knew this is an upcoming product.
Right.
They went up for pre-sale, so that's how he was able to order it.
Right.
I don't know if he was aware of the specific date and time of the embargo. I don't know if he worked with anyone in order to get like any drivers for like the Vega graphics or anything like that.
Sure.
So, you know, I don't want to make any assumptions about that, but basically we have two options. You got no, he should have waited, or yes, he can because he bought it and he can do what he wants with it. So
Okay.
I'll give you the honors here. And if you guys have never seen us do a sword fight before, our mission is to argue for our side, regardless of what we actually think. So, just want to point that out. And thank you for linking that in chat, Cell and Kyle.
Indeed. Okay. So do I go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. I'm gonna say, I think yes. I'll say yes. It was okay for him to do it. He paid for it. I think the issue is really between AMD and Amazon, because I feel like if Amazon sent him a sample early, or the product early, and Amazon was aware that AMD had this NDA or embargo that they were trying to adhere to, that Amazon as a retailer, I would think, would seek approval or permission from AMD and ask, is it okay to send the sample or to sell the sample early to this tech channel? Because, I don't know, this guy might not even have a connection to AMD. He might be I mean, if he's going through Amazon for his sample, I mean, that tells you right there, he probably doesn't have a close enough relationship to the vendor to acquire the sample directly. So that means he probably didn't get the press deck or the reviewer's guide or anything from anyone at AMD that said you can't post any content about this until this time on this date. So whether or not, and yeah, it's debatable, because maybe he did know that the embargo was going to lift 6 a.m. Pacific time on Monday, but without any sort of contract or agreement, I don't think he's legally at fault here. I think, you know, the person who gave it to him is, which would be Amazon. Now, of course, you could argue that, you know, from an ethical standpoint, maybe he should have not done that 10-hour stream, you know, a day or two before launch anyway, if he knew himself deep down that he wasn't supposed to. But, again, you're talking ethical versus lawful. And that's my argument. That's all I got. Tell me why I'm wrong, Paul.
So
Tell me
you're a prevaricating fertilizer salesman?
No,
Seems like you just tried to sell me a load of bullshit.
Wow.
That
was a clever.
That
was very good. You don't even have to argue your point now.
I know.
That was enough.
It took me way too long to just come up with that. All right, so just to argue the opposite side here, Son of a Tech, he obviously should have waited here. It was disrespectful. I think what it comes down to is respect for the community of reviewers who get free stuff sent to them all the time by manufacturers. Because obviously, you know, when the reviewers get those products, they're all held to an embargo agreement, and there's a level of respect for the other people that you work with in the reviewer community. Because the embargo agreement, if someone breaks it, they are taking advantage of everyone else in that circle. They're breaking the circle of trust, and you never want to break the circle of trust. Now, Son of a Tech, obviously, you know, he's a YouTuber. He's got a channel. He's building the channel, and when you build a channel with technology on YouTube, you know, you want to make sure that you ingratiate yourself to the others who are already part of that community. Because they're obviously all very respectable, honorable, good people, very intelligent, handsome, and extremely well endowed. And I would want to make sure that those people had a good opinion of me all the time. And pulling something like this is just it's the height of disrespect.
Disgraceful.
I can't.
Disgraceful.
I mean, I am ashamed to even repeat the name of his channel, Son of a Tech, and I would never at all encourage people to go to a channel like that, especially by putting a link to his video in my video description. That would be a bad idea. That'd be a terrible idea. I would never do it. And Son of a Tech, shame on you.
You are a son of a tech.
Okay.
As your name suggests.
Let's move on. No, let's not move on.
Let's never move on.
Let's
stay here forever.
All right, let's see what you guys think about this. Results. Everyone agrees with Kyle.
Yay!
82%.
You were definitely taking the underdog approach.
Yeah.
Underdog standpoint. So
yeah,
I figured that would 82%. Be the majority. As a lot of you guys mentioned in chat, an NDA is something that you have to agree to between the reviewer and said, you know, corporation or company. And since the guy never really agreed to anything, he's not contractually obligated.
Yes, and I will say, having, you know, I think I was laying my sarcasm on there pretty thick, but
yes.
I would mainly agree with everything Kyle said in his argument. I think there is some gray area depending on how much you do work directly with the manufacturers and that kind of thing. But in this specific situation, I think he did what I would have done in his situation, which is when that package arrived Saturday morning, realize, wow, this is an opportunity to get some eyeballs on this and be first. And being first,
yeah,
is
first.
I mean,
first.
That's why people like to be first.
I can't say if I was in his exact position, I wouldn't do the same.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I probably would have.
At 26K subs,
yeah.
I mean, you're trying to, like, how do you stand out, you know, against,
and I believe I don't have the thread pulled up or anything like that, but I believe he said that he actually did communicate with AMD as well. And AMD in that situation, they might have asked him, say like, hey, can you take this down or whatever, but he's under no obligation to.
Right.
And I don't think that from what I heard, oh, he's in here. Hey, Son of a Tech.
Oh, hey.
How's it going?
What up?
Thanks for being here. But yeah, it's a good thing to talk about, and maybe a perspective that not everyone gets if you're a viewer of the tech YouTubes versus someone who's creating content or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff.
I did not break Threadripper embargo rules. I had an email that told me it was okay to do that. I just didn't see the follow-up email that said they changed their mind. That was how that. What?
Wow. Can't trust you anytime.
Hey, if someone tells you it's okay to do something and you go ahead and do that thing, what's the problem there?
No, you're right.
I see no problem.
You're right.
All right, let's continue discussion. We talked about Twitch a little bit and some of their updated rules. YouTube also has been dealing with ongoing issues. A lot of this is fallout from the whole Logan Paul thing. There's an article on this over on TechCrunch. They are now saying and have stated very clearly and forcefully that they will potentially take action They announced a more formal and wider set of sanctions they are prepared to level at any creator that starts to post that posts videos that are harmful to viewers or others in the YouTube community or advertisers. Because I think they would probably, in their heart of hearts, advertisers would have been first on that list. But
yeah.
But you gotta include everyone.
Sure.
So yeah, they've actually already done this to Logan Paul twice, and I'm going to try never to say his name again. It will remove monetization options on the videos, so access to the advertising programs that YouTube has, and they also may remove a channel's eligibility to be recommended on YouTube, such as appearing on the homepage, trending tab, or watch next. And monetization may or may not be a big deal to a YouTuber who has a huge following and already has lots of money, because at a certain point, when you get to a certain level of viewership, there's so many views coming in and so much ad revenue that money probably becomes less of an issue.
Right.
But if people can't find your videos to watch them, and suddenly your popularity tanks, and suddenly your videos aren't getting views anymore, that might be a bigger deal. So this might be a consequence that that actually has effects. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see how people actually respond to this, or if YouTube actually goes ahead and enforces it anywhere. So obviously, our days are numbered. That's really what it comes down to here.
Yeah.
Kyle and I, we don't really have high standards. And
Better jump on that float plane soon, Paul.
Yeah, I know. I'm still waiting for my gilded invitation letter.
Well, we're still waiting for the site to be
delivered
done.
by Luke in a.
Let's all just like go to Luke and be like, "You're not working hard enough, Luke. Why are you slacking so much? Why do you suck, bruh?"
I feel like Luke
is amazing.
needs to roll up in
totally
the limo with like the really like nice 3-piece suit. Like opens it up. It's like,
Three-piece swimsuit.
come on over here. And then like I get in and there's like, there's probably some models who are there, and we all have champagne or something like that.
It's just like Linus and Edsel in like a bikini or something.
Yeah. And it's all very tasteful, of course. And the models are paid well. Just respectful. But
in
then he's like, let me show you what float plane is all about.
What float plane really is.
And I can't continue beyond there because
you don't know. I'll tell
yeah,
you, Paul.
I don't know.
Tell you, Paul.
Damn it! I thought I was.
Once you get inside that limo, you're never the same.
Just waiting for that
changes
limo
you
to pull up.
forever.
So,
It'll happen.
all this being said, the next question that we'd like to argue and have you guys answer and let us know what you think. This is really, I'm doing some research
Are
here.
we totally screwed?
What profession should Kyle and I start looking into a little bit? You know, we have some overlap time here where we can get some kind of on-the-job training, so to speak. We could maybe get ourselves set up, I suppose, so that thank you, Sel, for posting the link in chat.
Sel's on it.
We have a wide variety of options here. Assassin, of course. We got professional arm flailing, competitive chef, a la reality TV. Got a construction worker.
Sexy.
The pool boy.
Sexier.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Sexiest.
Accounting, exotic dancing. Commercial airline pilot, and then, of course...
Hardcore porn actor. Or behind the scenes.
Yeah, which, I mean, I know people... I couldn't
Also
just
known
put
as a
hardcore
fluffer.
porn. I feel like there's too many obvious potential jobs that would just fit. You know, they'd just be the right fit. It would just...
Be the right fit.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
so actor, obviously, in front of the camera, behind the scenes, behind. So you got your fluffer, you got your director, DP.
Nah.
You know, there's a...
See what you did there as well.
So, what do you think here? Actually, no, you went first last time. I'm gonna
Yeah,
choose
you go.
here. All right. I'm gonna go with. What do I want to do? What do I want to do the most? You know, I don't feel like I could go back into the hardcore porn world. It's been too long, and
That's where that soul patch was first forged.
it's a flavor saver. Still got some flavor.
So it sounds so wrong in that context.
All right, I'm gonna go for accounting. I feel like at this point, I just want something stable, something reasonable, something where things just add up, and I can make
Accounting?
terrible- Yeah, I wanted to.
Out of all the things, you picked the most boring option.
I know.
Pool boy would have been more exciting, because pool boy, that ties right back into hardcore porn actor. You know, I mean, how many times does a pool boy get lucky? Compared to the accountant?
Look, accountants.
Oh.
Accountants, they make decent money. You know, usually you've got benefits.
Oh, that sounds very exciting.
Come along with it, and it's like
that you left all behind when we resigned from New Way.
I really feel
you
like
want to go back
I really feel like I'd like to spend more time working with Excel. I think is what it comes down to, and you know, I think that's really where my passion is.
You probably want to take up golf too or something. And,
well,
I don't know, the kazoo.
I mean, maybe
crochet. Maybe you should just start crocheting.
Maybe I'm playing the long game here. Maybe. Never mind.
You're looking for that ultimate stability.
I don't want to say too much. So what about you? What do you think? From this list?
I will be an assassin, and I will hold you at gunpoint.
I was going for assassin.
I will hold you at gunpoint until you agree to leave your accounting days behind, because I will not stand around and watch you waste your life and potential and talent as a lowly accountant swine. So
yes. I mean, that's
what I will do with my assassin.
It's very reasonable.
My assassin abilities.
You know what would make it challenging to be an assassin?
Also being a porn actor?
It would be a video where you announce to people that you're going to be an assassin. I would think if you really wanted to be an assassin, that you'd probably be interested in a cover for that. Maybe something that was unassuming, that people wouldn't possibly think, hey, maybe that accountant's actually an assassin. But I'll leave it to you. You make your own choice.
That's how good of an assassin I would be, is I could be in the public eye in front of millions of people, and they'd still never see me coming. Just like a hardcore porn actor. Sorry, that was a terrible joke. Would you like another beer?
Sure. Okay. Sure, why not? All right. Let's see what you guys think. We have to go with whatever people say. Hardcore porn. Taking the lion's share of the votes here.
Both hardcore porn options.
But it looks like more people want us to stay on camera. I think that's really what we should derive from this.
I think that's
People want to see our faces.
Definitely, not our
possibly other parts of us now too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to keep that in mind.
Okay.
But you know, behind the scenes too is also possible. Professional arm flailing, though, a close second. A close second to the work in the adult film industry. Arm flailing could be
professional.
Oh wow, construction worker is the only one that I was trying to choose the one that would get the fewest votes, but construction worker came in just behind accounting. No one. Assassin only got 38 votes.
I know.
Anyway, right.
Damn it.
That straw poll will still be in the video's description if you guys happen to be watching the upload of this on YouTube. So feel free to go and vote. It will make a huge difference in our lives.
Huge.
All right. I'm gonna save my mail time for the end of your half, and I'll open it while we do your Q&A.
Yeah, sounds good.
Actually, as we go into the Q&A segment here, we're going to answer some questions people have asked in chat, donation comments. We would also, well, I don't want to say me. I've thought about this, but I haven't talked to you about it yet. I feel like we should try to shrink this end section down a little bit.
Yeah, it takes over
it's becoming a
third
bit
of the show.
Too big of a chunk of the show.
I agree.
So for now, we'll go ahead as is, but in the future, we might be trying to reduce this just a little bit. Again, just
like a limit, like a $1 limit or something like that.
It tends to eat up a lot.
Just be respectful of everyone's time.
A few people with feedback on that. But
we'll do like a $100 limit or something.
All right, so let's try to run through these really quick. Donation comments. Thank you guys for your donations. Mordem says, with the $10 donation, says it looks like the AMD APUs actually give light gaming another option over going consoles. Options are always a good thing. Yes, they absolutely do. They're a great option for that. We just need the memory prices to come down to make it like a really nice budget, like $400, you know, more competitive with
console
like
prices, not just performance. Yeah.
Scott Dilbeck 666 didn't get to catch the show live last week. I was getting a hibachi with the lady. Oh,
hibachi!
Congratulations.
What's hibachi?
It's like a small Asian child. No, it's a grill.
It's a grill.
Also, have you played Rust? It's amazing since the full release. I have not.
Nope.
Kyle says he promises to now, though.
No, I never said that. I never said that at all.
MGN Franco Valle. MGN, yes, $5 donation. Here's some money for beer. Would give more, but college books are too expensive. Dude, if you're spending money on college books, you shouldn't be giving money to us. But thank you.
Or
anyway.
why even buy college books at all?
Yeah, college books are really expensive. Keep up the good work, and hope you can pimp my PC. And he put his Twitter handle, so pimp his PC. We're gonna do pimp my PC on Kyle's half in just a minute. Bazinga X with a $5 donation. Kyle's having a bad week. Snowboarding, PC blue screen of death. Now the YouTube problem. Maybe it's a new Kyle virus. Something that would affect all of those things. I would be impressed if it actually existed.
I'm bad luck
Existed.
Stay away from it.
Matthew Deal, $5 donation. Hey guys, we'll be in Irvine in 2 weeks on a business trip. Do you have any recommendations for restaurants or breweries in the area in Irvine? Irvine. I don't go that direction too often.
There are some good breweries in Anaheim, which isn't terribly far away.
Yeah.
If you have like a rental car or something like that, I would check out the Anaheim Brewery, or
if you go from Irvine, see Irvine has like the
Spectrum.
The Spectrum, and there's a lot of restaurants there. Some of them are more like the bigger chains and that kind of thing. You're like looking up Yelp or whatever.
Yeah,
just go to the Spectrum and look on Yelp. If you drive out to Laguna Beach, which is just like you go south from Irvine, it's not that far. There's a restaurant called Lumberyard that my friend works at. That's very good, and Laguna Beach is awesome. But anyway, all right. Sorry.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Carl
Carl Strauss is there.
Oh yeah, Carl Strauss.
Golden Road.
All right. Thank you, Matthew.
Thanks, Google.
Bazinga X, $5 donation. One word for Kyle, Vicodin. Oh, he's familiar with that.
They only told me to take over-the-counter stuff, and I was very disappointed.
So sad.
Yeah.
The Rychenek, $5 donation. Old Army medic here. Sounds like you do have a fracture. Wrap your ribs from your armpits to the bottom of the ribs. Use ice where it hurts the most. Do that for a few weeks.
Good Lord.
Wow, he's an Army medic. So that means he could have, like...
He knows more than I do.
Fixed you up in the field.
Yeah.
Something like that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Rychenek, for your
I'll give that a shot.
Thank you for your service.
Definitely the ice sounds good.
Troll McTrollington with the $5 Canadian. Here's $5 for the Glitterbit shirt.
Why, thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if that can be directly applied. I guess once it is available in the store.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
$5 in karma.
Guido Salducci with the $5. Hey, Paul, I rolled a 1d20 and you have won. All right, cool. I have my last $5.
Nice.
Well, congratulations.
Lucky there.
Was that on me? Like you rolled the 20 or anyway? Thank you, Guido. Jose Gomez with the $5 donation. Question is, does YouTube Red help you guys even if it's not monetized for that video? Love the work you guys are doing. Keep up the good work. I'm actually not positive how that works if you have YouTube Red. I think the video does have to be monetized in order for YouTube Red to give money, but I'm actually not positive.
I don't know either. That's probably in the fine print somewhere.
Yeah.
I haven't checked it out.
Don't know the answer to that, but thank you for your donation. David Bullock, $5 Canadian. Will either of you ever create some content about vintage or retro computing? Would love to see some attempted Pentium 2 or Pentium 3 Windows 98 builds in gaming.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Just like
That'd
reminding...
be kind of a cool...
I mean, yeah, it'd be fun to dabble into. I definitely have some old hardware lying around. I just feel like I have so many current projects that getting into that old stuff would be challenging. Also, there's so many things you forget about, like little quirks and stuff, like going back to the Pentium 2, Pentium 3 days. But hey, you never know, David. Perhaps in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. Isnell, $10. Hey guys, I don't know how to ask this, but could I bounce some questions off one or both of you for some guidance starting a channel, possibly a PM on Twitter? If not, that's cool. Ethan, we get those requests all the time. We have given generic advice for that from time to time. But I'm not sure how exactly I could tell you to directly contact us. Just make sure that you are starting a channel because it's something you enjoy doing and not because you want to make lots of money off of it.
Right.
Stay consistent. Make sure you're posting with some consistency. Listen to your audience. Don't worry about numbers. Don't worry about getting lots of views, but cherish the views that you do get and respond to people. And make sure that even as you're responding to people and adjusting your content to match your audience, that you're still staying true to doing stuff that you enjoy doing at the same time.
And be prepared to make less than minimum wage for like the first year.
Yeah, it helps. It helps if it's a side job, a hobby, or a passion project for the first couple years at least.
Yep.
All right, Justin Parrish, $5 donation. Will we ever see another NVIDIA card like the 690 dual GPU single slot card, given the increase in bandwidth of next generation PCI Express lanes? It seems like NVIDIA has decided no, that's not something that they need to do, and that dual card solutions is more viable than that. They've gone more with like the single big chip, you know, Titan type card that they can do, and I feel like they've been doing pretty decently with that.
Yeah.
Dual GPUs naturally has some challenges when it comes to driver support and that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's not out of the question, but I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah, seems too complicated.
Philip C. with £5. I bought a Strix RX 580 for £250 in November and sold it yesterday for £420. Got an EVGA for the win 1070 for £450. Ryzen 5 1600X at 3.8, but PUBG doesn't use 100%. PUBG is terribly optimized, and you will not get all of the performance out of your hardware that you can. Who knows if they'll fix that in the future. Really nice flip though on that. I mean,
no kidding.
For people who do have GPUs, especially anyone who bought like a 500 series Radeon card, like back when they were normal price, like you can get some pretty nice hardware upgrades from that. So good on you, Philip. Well done. Wishbone, $5 donation. Are you gonna do more testing on the Vega APUs? See if they can do any crossfire with an AMD Vega 56. I don't think that's going to happen, Wishbone. Is it possible or just a dream? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Just
no,
I don't see that happening. AMD did some sort of like crossfire stuff with their integrated GPU stuff several years back with the earlier like the FM1 and FM2 platforms, but the GPUs that you had to pair the APUs up with were so low end and so crappy that it really made more sense just to spend $20 more on like a slightly better low-end graphics card, and then you can get better performance than both of them combined. So
that's right.
I think it's very challenging to do something like that. So chances are, if you get a Vega 56, it's just going to be a Vega 56.
Yeah.
Good question though. Aaron Rogers, $10. Hey guys, want to thank you all for the videos. Built my first computer this past weekend. You watched Kyle's video the whole way through.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Impressive.
Watching on Twitch, Loud Big Bird also got Bitwit Ultra and the Desmat.
Nice.
Congratulations, Aaron.
Good stuff.
And thank you for donating your $10 to me rather than Kyle. Diane Michelle, $5 donation. My son Aaron wants to know what the picture on your desktop is from. Should he already know? He won't sleep till he knows.
Oh.
That is a PC Master Race.
Yeah. I think I just Googled PC Master Race 3440 by 1440 wallpaper, and that popped up. I'm speculating that the artist had Gaben in mind, our Lord and Savior, when he created this character, and then we've got some other PC Master Racers here. There's a lot of detail. There's why I really like this. First of all, it's colorful. It matches anything RGB. And they're actually standing on top of desktop towers.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see all the console peasants just sort of like reaching out to them for help. And you can see like, some like PlayStation, joystick things, and there's a Game Boy. There's a Wii steering wheel. There's another controller. It's a really fun wallpaper. So
it's good stuff.
Yep. Thanks for asking.
Thank you, Diane.
You can also see their junk. Very, very detailed junk.
Thanks. Yep. That's
PC Master Race junk.
Thank you for allowing your son to watch our show.
Yeah.
I hope we're not bad influences.
No. Not at all.
All right. Afnan Riemann with a $5 donation. Do you guys use smart speakers? And if so, what kinds of things do you ask of it? Trying to decide between the HomePod and Sonos One. Cheers. I do not.
I use a Google Home.
Kyle's got a Google
we'll be
Home.
talking more about the HomePod on my half of the show specifically. So stay tuned for that before you make your decision.
Cool.
Got some things to say.
Pup Shepherd, $10 donation. Feel free to watch my short film, Lost Identity.
Okay.
Should that have a not safe for work warning, Pup?
I have seen your Twitter page, Pup. I'm very scared to watch your film right now.
Stuff that's Pup Shepherd related is often not safe for work. I don't want to assume that that's 100% the case
it's very
with his
artistic,
film. But I'm curious.
It keeps me up at night.
Thank you, Pup, for your donation.
Thanks, Pup.
Abby Singh, $5 Canadian. I am on hourly wage. Here's some that I made on the toilet last week.
Wow.
That is always a nice thing when you're working.
What do you do for a living?
For an hour, when you're working by the hour and you have to take a restroom break, you're like, well, I'm getting
paid for this shit right now.
I'm paid to take a dump right now.
Good
so
shit.
There
Good
we
shit.
Go. It is.
All right.
All right, guys.
Johnson's.
That is all for my stuff,
Johnson's.
except for a few Johnson shoutouts for people who have ordered stuff from us.
Holy moly!
Assuming, what, you got a lot of, you got a lot in there?
Yeah, I got a few.
A few?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll read these off quickly. Randy Johnson, to you for picking up in RGB everything.
Double
t-shirt.
Johnson also got the Sword Fight shirt.
Aaron Rogers. You get a burp instead of a Johnson for picking up a Stay Positive shirt and a Bitwit Gaming mousepad.
Jeff from, where is that? Maryland. Jeff from Maryland, big old Johnson to you for getting the dust mats and the black thumbscrew shirt.
Ronald for picking up a Bitwit Gaming desk mat. Thank you. Those are super nice.
Hey, Luigi. Looks like you are in the military. Thank you for your service, sir. Thumbscrew shirt and the awesome hardware Star Wars shirt and also a woman's shirt.
Whatever floats your boat, man.
I hope the ladies
dig it. I hope they dig it.
I hope whatever lovely lady wears the shirt, I hope she enjoys it.
Timothy Johnson for picking up a Stay Positive Tri-Blend T-shirt from Nevada. Thank you.
Paul from New Zealand, all the way down there. Got the Sword Fight shirt and the thumbscrew shirt.
A big long Johnson to Linda for picking up a CPU cooler shirt as well as an RGB Everything T-shirt.
And one final Johnson for me for Austin. Got the thumbscrew shirt. Thank you so much, Austin from Arizona. Love you. Love you, Austin.
Alfredo, we'll call you Freddy, picked up a Stay Positive Tri-Blend T-shirt. Johnson to you. And our final Johnson of this half of the show goes to Sprayed On. No, that's a city.
What?
That's a city. Paul. It's a different Paul, not you. You didn't buy anything from me. Beware a Bottleneck shirt and a BIOS Flasher shirt and a Stay Pot. Holy crap. Thank you. Thank you. Picking up everything.
Yeah, that's
double Johnson?
That was a double Johnson.
That's a double Johnson. That's a DJ, my friends. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you want to hit the thumbs up button, we always appreciate it. Link to Kyle's half is down in the video's description. We love you all, and we'll be back next week with another live show.
Yep.
And I'm gonna click the button over here. That ends.
If you're watching live, don't go anywhere.